Welcome back to another episode of Living the Standard, a podcast for those who refuse to settle for average. I'm your host, Brandon Hogan. So, being a owner of a athlete and fitness training brand, a common question I get a lot is regarding to what supplements to take or what brand to go with. So, in today's episode, I was going to dive into my top supplements that I believe can benefit majority of people outside of your daily vitamins, which vitamins could be a whole another episode on its own. But yeah, I'll also be going over things to look for when choosing a brand of supplements because all supplements are not created equal. Believe it or not, just because it says whey protein on the label doesn't mean it's good for you. There are so many different companies out there that sell workout supplements, and many of them are filled with unnecessary junk or may even contain traces of ingredients not listed on the label. So I'll point out what exactly you should avoid and what to look for when choosing a brand to go with. To wrap up the episode, I will highlight the brand I personally go with and what I recommend my clients go with and why. But let's dive in, shall we? So, first off, want to point out that I am not a licensed nutritionist, and nothing I say in today's episode is anything for diet or medical advice. Today is just simply my thoughts and knowledge that I've learned, applied, and found success with over the last 7+ years of continuous research and experience in the training industry. But just wanted to make that clear. Let's also get this out there right now, too. Nothing beats getting proper nutrients from whole, real foods. Supplements are not meant to replace food and are simply here to support and enhance your daily diet and your everyday performance. There also are not just Supplements are also not just for people who work out or exercise. Even if you don't go to the gym, go on runs, or play sports, supplements can help improve your health and performance, no matter if you're an athlete or not. But anyways, all right, let's dive into the first supplement I want to talk about, and that is creatine. And honestly, this is probably my number one supplement that I believe can benefit the majority of people. And let me explain why. Creatine is something your body already naturally makes and has. You also get small amounts of it from foods like red meat. So this isn't some weird artificial supplement. No, it's part of how your body works. In simple terms, what creatine mainly does is help your muscles store and use more quick energy. So what's that mean? That means it helps you perform better during like your workouts, during competition, or even everyday physical tasks. You may feel stronger, have more energy, and recover faster after training, sports, or long days of like physical labor. It also helps kind of pull water into your muscle cells, which helps your muscles stay hydrated, stay healthy, and ready to work at any given time. Uh, that's a good thing, but it does mean you need to make sure that you are drinking enough water if you are supplementing with creatine throughout the day. There are even studies showing that creatine may support cognitive function and improve overall brain health. Uh, Now let's talk about something important. Creatine has a Creatine has a lot of stereotypes and myths around it. It's been like that for years. Some people think it's a steroid or that it's bad for you, or some think it's only for bodybuilders. But the truth is, creatine is actually one of the most researched and maybe one of the safest supplements in the world when used properly. And that's used by way more than just bodybuilders. We're talking athletes, adults trying to stay strong, and even older adults who want to support muscle and brain health. Another key point, if you're going to use creatine, the kind you want to use is creatine monohydrate. It's the simplest, most studied, and most proven form. You'll see a lot of fancy versions out there with big promises and higher prices, but plain creatine monohydrate is still the gold standard. And here's the reality. Most people don't eat enough food to naturally reach their creatine levels or the best creatine levels. So simply mixing a small scoop of creatine monohydrate into your water bottle or a protein shake each day can make a real difference over time. And I always remind people, creatine is not magic. It doesn't replace hard work. It doesn't replace good nutrition. It doesn't replace good sleep. But when those three things are in place, creatine is considered one of the most effective, safe, and beneficial supplements you can use to support your performance, recovery, and like I said, your long-term health. And that's exactly why it's my number one supplement. My second supplement I want to talk about today, that is protein powder, probably one of the most popular supplements out there. Just your basic protein powder. And just like creatine, this is something I believe can benefit the majority of people when used the right way, of course. But before we even talk about powders, let's start with more the big picture. Protein is one of the most important nutrients your body needs. Your body uses protein to build muscle, repair tissue, support recovery, and stay strong and healthy as you grow and as you get older. So, again, whether you're someone that's an athlete, an adult trying to stay in shape, or just someone who wants to feel better and have more energy, getting enough protein each day really matters. And now, here's my belief based on coaching people over the last 7 years. Most people don't eat enough protein through normal food alone. Most people don't eat normal food alone enough throughout the day, so they're not getting enough protein in. And again, not because they're doing anything wrong, but because life is busy, meals aren't always perfect, and protein foods usually take more planning and preparation. And to be honest, it's tough to consume a lot of protein through the day. It fills you up. And that's where protein powders can be really helpful. Just like creatine, protein powders are not magic either. And it's definitely not a replacement for real food, but it can be a simple, convenient way to help someone reach the amount of protein their body needs each day, especially after workouts or used as a snack between meals or on busy days when eating enough is hard. What I like about protein powders is that it's quick, easy, and it is easy for you to be consistent with each day. A simple protein shake. You can mix it with water, milk, or in a smoothie. In less than a minute, you have something that helps support recovery, muscle growth, and overall health. Shoot, protein powder can even be mixed into things like yogurt, oatmeal, homemade energy balls, and many, many other recipes and baked goods. And again, this is important to understand. The goal isn't to supplement first. The goal is to always get real foods, improve good habits, and stay consistent. But again, when those three things are in place, I believe a high quality protein powder can be one of the most useful and practical tools someone can add into their daily routine. Not because it's flashy, but because it helps. It's simple. It helps you do simple things right more consistently. And that's exactly why protein powder is my second top supplement for majority of people. Now, before anyone goes buy creatine and protein powder, there's something really important we should talk about. And again, that's not all supplements are created equal. And this is something I care a lot about because there are a lot of brands out there that include things I personally try to avoid. Some supplements are filled with artificial flavors, artificial colors, unnecessary fillers, added sugars, or a long ingredient list that most people can't even pronounce. And in my opinion, if a supplement's supposed to help your health, it shouldn't be packed with a bunch of things that don't support your health. It seems pretty common sense to me. But so when I look for supplements, when I recommend them to my athletes, adults that I work with, or families at Bar Raising Fitness, there are a few big things I believe people should always check for when they're looking at different supplements. First, is it third party tested? This is a big one. Third party tested means the supplement isn't just being checked by the company that sells it, it's also being tested by an independent outside organization not associated with that company to make sure what's on the label. Well, make sure a couple things. Number one, what's on the label is actually what's inside the product. That number two, the dosage are accurate. And number three, the supplement is free of harmful and banned substances. So why does that matter? Because sometimes different supplements are made by the same manufacturing facility or even mixed in like the same equipment that other products were used or were made in beforehand. So you get these facilities that make products for multiple different supplement companies. And if that equipment isn't perfectly cleaned, there can be tiny traces of other ingredients and substances that aren't shown on the label. That's especially important for athletes because even a small trace of a banned substance can cause problems if you get drug tested. You see that happen actually a lot in like professional sports where they're taking just like a protein powder that they got from Walmart or something and they test for a banned substance when they get drug tested, and that's because that protein powder wasn't third party tested and there was small traces of a banned substance like a steroid or something that is so small in it that isn't really doing anything in your body, but it shows up on a drug test. So, being third party tested adds that extra layer of trust, safety, and quality, and that's a non negotiable for me personally. The second thing I look for in supplements is simple, clean ingredients. In my belief, the best supplements usually have short ingredients list, no artificial colors or flavors, and no unnecessary fillers or junk. Because again, the goal when taking a supplement is to support your body, not overload it with extra chemicals and unnecessary junk. Another thing to consider is the transparency of the from the brand. Good companies are usually very open about where their ingredients come from, where their products are made, and proof of their testing and quality. If a company hides that information or makes only big marketing promises, that's usually a red flag to me. And one more belief I always share is cheapest isn't always the best, and most expensive isn't always the best when it comes to supplements. That doesn't mean that you need, again, like go out and buy the most expensive brand or the cheapest brand, but extremely cheap or extremely expensive supplements doesn't always mean they're the best. Like you should do your own research with it because extremely cheap supplement companies sometimes cut corners on ingredient quality, testing, or manufacturing standards. And when it comes to something that you're putting in your body every single day, quality does matter. So, the simple takeaway I hope people remember from this, if you're going to use supplements like creatine, protein powder, or any other supplement for that matter, make sure you choose a brand that is third party tested, made with clean, simple ingredients, and they're transparent and trustworthy. And that the brand actually focuses on real health, not just marketing. That's another big one. Because supplement brands and products should never be about the hype or big fancy promises. They should be about helping people feel better, perform better, and stay healthy long term. And that's always the standard I and we try and live by at Bar Raising Fitness. Now, the last thing I want to share today, and again, this isn't meant to be a sales pitch. I just want to be real with you about what I personally use and what I personally trust, because I think that does matter if you're listening to me. Um, there are a lot of supplement companies out there, but the brand I've consistently used over the years is Legion Athletics. And the reason why I trust them really goes back to everything we talked about today. They focus on third party testing, they have clean, simple ingredients, they have no unnecessary artificial junk, and they're being fully transparent on what's inside their products. That's important to me, not just for myself, but again, for the athletes, adults, and families we work with every day at Bar Raising Fitness. And that's honestly why we chose to partner with Legion. Not because, again, not because of the hype, but because their standards match the standards we live by. Now, again, you never have to use the same brand I use. The most important thing that I hope you do take away from this and do apply with the supplements you take is simply choosing something that is safe, clean, and trusted. But if you want to try the same supplement I personally use, Legion Athletics, I do want to make sure that you're taken care of. So if you go to their website, legionathletics.com, which I'll put in the link of this description too, you can use the code bar raising at checkout, and you'll get 20% off your first order. And then every time you order after that, you'll earn double reward points, which ends up turning into more discounts over time. Again, I don't want this to be a sales pitch, but just wanted to share what I personally use, trust, and stand behind. Because at the end of the day, my goal is simple. I want to help people train better, recover better, and live healthier. With supplements being a tool, I want them to actually be a tool that actually supports your long-term health. So, as we wrap up today's episode, I just want to bring everything kind of back to the big picture. We talked about creatine, one of the most researched and trusted supplements that can help your performance, for your recovery, your strength, and even overall health and cognitive function. When it is used the right way, of course. We talked about protein, which isn't just for athletes and bodybuilders. It's something every single person needs to stay strong, recover well, and support their body long term. Then we talked about something that's honestly might matter the most, choosing the right supplements. Because it's not just taking something, it's making sure what you're putting in your body is safe, clean, and tested, and something that you can truly trust. At the end of the day, though, I always want to remind people of this. Supplements are not the foundation. They don't replace hard work. They don't replace real food. And they don't replace sleep and consistency. They don't even replace your daily habits that actually change your life. Those things will always matter the most. But when your foundation is strong, the right supplements can be a simple tool that helps you recover a little better, a little quicker, and help you perform better throughout the day or in your sport. And that's really what it's all about when it comes to supplements. Not the hype, not the trends, not the quick fixes, just simple proven things that can help make a little difference in your everyday life. So if this episode helped you at all in any way, please make sure to subscribe, share on social media so we can keep getting the word out about this podcast. Or even if it gave you a little more clarity around what supplements to take, hey, that's a win to me. And until next episode, as always, keep showing up, keep putting in the work, and keep raising your standards.